They are preparing for a swearing in tomorrow, while they themselves are not exactly sure about the time based on the sources that we spoke to. They say that they're, getting things set and ready. So this is the way things are progressing as it stands. And as for the support from various parties, what we know is that the Congress has directly allied with Vijay. They've broken away from the DMK and allied with Vijay. Then the two left parties are providing outside support. IUML, like you had said, they were unclear till the last moment. They kept saying, they're only going to stick with the DMK, but now they've extended support 2 seats, IUML. Then, of course, there's the VCK. But again, with the VCK, the formal letter is expected only tomorrow, is what we're given to understand.
Siddharth, VCK happens to be the interesting bit here. Anything that you're hearing on what conditions has or will VCK extend its support to Vijay? Reports are coming in that they want the Deputy Chief Minister's post, the seat that Vijay vacates. He's won on 2 seats. One of them should go to VCK. They're also demanding a cabinet berth. Has there been any confirmation on that?
We're gathering that, yes, that seems very likely that VCK has put forth certain demands, and especially some demands pertaining to the Dalit community as well. This is a party that represents this particular community. So what they're looking at is also some certain benefits or certain other privileges that this community would seek as far as once the government is formed. They would expect certain additional laws to be passed or something for the benefit of this community. That's also something we're coming across, but yet to hear anything on paper from the particular party, VCK.
All right, Siddharth, you keep an eye on the latest that's happening in Tamil Nadu. Thanks very much for joining us at the moment and getting us an update. Let me also welcome my guest on the show. Mr. T.S. Sudhir joins us. He's a political analyst, journalist and columnist known for covering South Indian politics with a focus on Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Mr. Sudhir, good evening. Welcome to WION. It's been, quite a big day, hectic parlaying that has been going on in the state. Now, of course, you've got the IUML extending their support to Vijay as well. How do you see these permutations and combinations? These were not natural partners. Now they're coming together and the decks are getting cleared for Vijay to form the government.
Shreya, I think the last 4 days ever since the results came on the 4th of May would have given Vijay the first big lesson on real politics. He contested the elections in Tamil Nadu alone, but now he has to depend on several smaller parties in order to reach the magic number of 118. And it has been a lesson in itself on how to really approach the different parties. Getting the Congress on board was the easier part, because in any case, the Congress and the TVK were kind of wanting to have an alliance even before the elections, but for the fact that certain senior leaders did not want to do that and wanted to remain with the DMK. But getting the other smaller players, the two left parties, the VCK and the IUML, was the tougher part, even though all 4 of them had just about 2 MLAs each. And the manner in which the TVK approached them, for example, the VCK, the second in command, took objection to the fact that WhatsApp messages had been sent in order to secure their support. So obviously they were very offended, and it had to take Vijay himself to make that phone call to Tirumavalavan in order to assuage their ego and the fact that they were hurt. Subsequently, Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi also reached out to IUML leadership, because both IUML and Congress are together as part of the UDF in Kerala. So they have an equation there. They reached out to the CPI and the CPM leadership. But what really tilted the scales in favor of the TVK was the move by the DMK to somehow support from the outside an AIDMK-led government. And that was unacceptable to the two left parties. They did not want to do that. The VCK would have never agreed to a PMK in a possible AIDMK-led government. So that kind of, in a sense, made them move away from the DMK in terms of the AIDMK-DMK formation towards supporting the TVK. But even now, Shreya, the important thing is that both the IUML as well as the CPI-CPM are saying that we are doing this with the approval of MK Stalin. So that will be actually a very important thing to look out for. Will MK Stalin therefore have some kind of an indirect control over the TVK Congress government that will be formed tomorrow in Chennai?
You know, which is what I was coming to next, yes, Sudhir. The fact that so far there was a lot of speculation about how, the DMK partners within the alliance are leaving the party and going towards Vijay. But now you've got reports coming in of, them saying that we have taken approval from MK Stalin and we're moving ahead with that. But therefore, with this kind of a situation, how do you see this coalition really working together? Because it's not going to be easy for Vijay to, take everybody in confidence and work with them, specifically, of course, the VCK as well, which has been giving out a list of demands.
Absolutely. In fact, the two left parties are ideology-based parties, so they are bound to make demands. As Siddharth was pointing out, the VCK would want its pound of flesh, but also for very political reasons, because the fear in the VCK, even before the elections, was that much of the Dalit youth vote was actually veering towards Vijay. So this actually is a bit of a catch-22 situation for the VCK, that if they had not joined, the Dalit youth would have felt aggrieved that they were not being part of the power structure. But now that they are part of the TVK governance system, the fear also would be that it would now allow the TVK and Vijay in particular to plug into the Dalit youth ecosystem and the vote in a future election. So these are some of the challenges that Vijay would definitely face. But yes, as you said, if the DMK has some kind of an indirect control through the IOML, through the CPI, through CPM, that is bound to create problems for the TVK government, because the DMK traditionally in opposition has always been an extremely aggressive party, and therefore it would be it would be necessary for TVK, given that many of their ministers are going to be first-time ministers, they're in fact first-time MLAs. It's going to be definitely a big challenge for the TVK.
Amid all of this, T.S. Sudhir, one of the most interesting aspects that has emerged is also how the DMK Congress alliance has completely fallen apart. In fact, earlier today, Kanimori had written to the Lok Sabha Speaker saying, we want our seating arrangement away from the Congress party. So, it really reflects the kind of days and weeks and moments we'll see in the coming days, because these were two partners which were vouching for each other. DMK, in fact, was one of the first few parties who had also said that Rahul Gandhi should be the prime ministerial candidate of the India bloc. That clearly has completely fallen apart.
Well, a lot is made about the fact that MK Stalin had said Rahul Gandhi should be prime minister, but it's not the first time that the DMK and the Congress have actually fallen apart. You would remember in the wake of the 2G scam, before the 2014 elections, the alliance had broken off. The 2014 elections, the two parties fought separately. So that has not certainly happened for the first time. And this really, according to me, at least the way I see it, was actually coming because even in the run-up to the elections, the Congress was a rather unhappy party. It wanted more seats to contest. The cadre in particular, the middle rung leadership wanted to ally with TVK because they saw that that was the party which had momentum. They would have got many more seats to contest, and they saw an opportunity to rebuild the party in a state where they have been out of power for close to 60 years. That did not happen because Mallikarjun Kharge, P. Chidambaram, Selva Perungudai, who is the Tamil Nadu Congress president, were in favor of continuing status quo, continuing their alliance with the DMK. So in that sense, the Congress deciding to, make full use of this second lifeline that has been provided by electoral destiny really comes as no surprise to me. The Congress wanted to make the most of this situation. The fact that they have got 5 MLAs now, they would get at least, hopefully, maybe at least as per their wish, a couple of cabinet berths. It gives them some kind of an opportunity to rebuild themselves in this particular state. And having Vijay on their side, as the letter from the Congress said, they would be part of future local body elections, Lok Sabha elections, and Rajya Sabha elections. So this shows that the Congress is already looking at 2029, and Vijay would actually be a positive factor as far as the Congress is concerned, not just in Tamil Nadu, but also in the neighboring states of Kerala and Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, so we'll have to wait and see how this moves forward and whether we do have that 11 a.m. oath-taking ceremony tomorrow. And if that happens, it's going to be a clash with Shubhendu Adhikari taking oath in West Bengal. I'll leave it there to T.S. Sudhir. Thanks very much for joining us and sharing your perspective. With that, let's shift our focus to West Bengal. Shubhendu Adhikari is set to become the next Chief Minister of West Bengal. He's been made the leader of the BJP legislative party in the state, paving the way for him to assume the chief ministerialship. Now, the state's governor, R.N. Ravi, has dissolved the state assembly at the end of its 5-year term on Thursday. The move also effectively removes Mamata Banerjee as the state's chief minister, who had earlier announced that she would not hand over her resignation as the chief minister of the state. Now, the development comes as the Bharatiya Janata Party confirmed that the new government will be sworn in on the 9th of May, 2 days after the term of the outgoing assembly expires. Meanwhile, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has been in West Bengal. He's been attending crucial meetings with the newly elected MLAs of the BJP. In fact, upon his arrival, the Home Minister offered prayers at Ma Dakshineshwar Kali Temple in Kolkata. He also chaired a meeting to decide the legislative leader and, of course, subsequently the Chief Minister of the state, and he did announce Shubhendu Adhikari's name in that. Now, as per him, there was only one name that he could choose. Take a listen.
लोगों के विश्वास के कारण आज के उत्सव मूर्ति और बंगाल के भावी मुख्यमंत्री श्रीमान शुभेंदु अधिकारी जी।
Now, Shubhendu Adhikari is all set to become West Bengal's next chief minister, the first BJP chief minister. The 55-year-old joined the Bharatiya Janata Party in 2020, and he's taken the lead in fighting the Trinamool Congress. Remember, he beat TMC chief and the former chief minister Mamata Banerjee twice, first from the Nandigram constituency in the 2021 elections, and this time from the Bhawanipur constituency. Earlier, Mamata Banerjee had declared that she would not follow the convention of going to the governor to hand over her resignation despite losing the election. However, in the absence of her formal resignation, there was no opportunity for the governor to ask her to continue as the caretaker chief minister. This prompted the governor to use his powers under Clause 2 of Article 174 of the Constitution of India. The inauguration is now set to take place at Kolkata's iconic Brigade Parade grounds, where preparations are underway for the swearing-in ceremony. Ahead of the ceremony, the roads near Brigade Parade ground have been decked up with cutouts of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Meanwhile, all necessary administrative meetings are being held and tight security arrangements have been put in place for the occasion. Along with the Prime Minister and Amit Shah, senior BJP leaders and chief ministers from other states are expected to attend the oath-taking ceremony. Now, the swearing-in of West Bengal's next chief minister will take place on the 9th of May, as we told you. As per the Bengali calendar, this is the birth anniversary of Rabindranath Tagore, 9th of May. And as per the English calendar, his birthday falls on the 7th of May. But remember, the Bengali calendar puts it on the 25th of the month of Boishakh, which is 9th of May this year. And that's why it makes it all the more crucial for Shubhendu Adhikari to be taking oath on this day. And for more, our correspondent Shreyasi Ganguly has sent us this report from Kolkata. Take a look.
BJP is going to form its first government here in West Bengal tomorrow. Shubhendu Adhikari has been selected as the first chief minister of BJP's government. And tomorrow, he will take oath at Brigade Parade Ground in front of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah. Shubhendu Adhikari, once a very senior leader of Trinamool Congress, was the minister of Trinamool government and very influential TMC leader. But before 2021 election, he left Trinamool and joined BJP. From 2021 to 2026, before election, he was the leader of opposition. And this time, during the 2026 assembly election, he defeated Mamta Banerjee from Bhawanipur. Today, he came here at Lok Bhavan, formerly known as Raj Bhavan, and placed his demand for formation of government to the governor.
All right, shifting our focus now in an exclusive conversation with WION's Assistant Editor of Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibal. Former Maldivian President Mohammad Nasheed signalled his ambition to lead the Maldivian Democratic Party toward victory in the 2028 elections. He also spoke about the relations between Maldives and India. Take a look.
How do you see the relationship between the two countries?
Well, I think they're good. This government started it on a wrong footing, but they have realigned and make course corrections. It's going to be difficult for any government in the Maldives not to have very good relations with India.
Recently, India has extended support to Maldives, especially the financial support. If you can perhaps talk about it, how this support will play an important role in terms of financial stabilization and perhaps the economic situation in your country as well, if you can talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I think there's another $50 million bond coming for maturity. I would like to see India also giving us a program before rolling over the bonds and giving financial assistance.
You're back in Maldives. There are a lot of speculations. What's your next plan, next step? MDP leadership, is this something that is on the cards?
Well, I hope to win the election that I'm contesting now. The MDP is an excellent institution, not only in the Maldives but also regionally. And I would again like to extend my assistance in running the party and hopefully taking the party to leadership, to victory into 28 elections.
Moving on, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa is facing calls to resign over an old scandal. The country's constitutional court has now ruled that the parliament violated the constitution by blocking moves to impeach Ramaphosa in 2022. This was after burglars stole about $580,000 in cash from Cyril Ramaphosa's ranch that year. The money was hidden inside a sofa in the ranch. The incident has led to allegations that the president had not accounted for where that cash had come from. However, Ramaphosa had denied all wrongdoing, and his party, the ANC, was in power with an absolute majority in the parliament. So it has squashed moves to impeach him at the time. But now, South Africa's constitutional court says that the move to quash and the inquiry was unconstitutional.
The National Assembly's vote must likewise be set aside because it was taken under an invalid rule that prevented the National Assembly from properly determining whether a ground for impeachment existed. The vote, therefore, lacked a lawful foundation. By a majority, concludes that the report must be referred to the impeachment committee.
Cyril Ramaphosa's office, meanwhile, says that he respects the court's decision, but his political opponents, including F leader Julius Malema, who had taken the matter to the Constitutional Court, are now demanding that he resign.
Looks like now is for Ramaphosa to use his conscience and resign as the president of South Africa and go and face the impeachment. We can't have a president that is doing the work of president and doing the work of impeachment. He must concentrate on one. He can't concentrate on the president. He has to concentrate on impeachment. This goes again to the doorstep of the ANC. They must choose South Africa or they must choose Ramaphosa.
The ANC is not currently in a majority in the South African parliament. It is part of the coalition with the Democratic Alliance Party, and the DA says that it will participate fully in any impeachment proceedings and not prejudge their outcome. South Africa's parliament must now establish an impeachment committee and reopen a process which may become the most serious threat to Ramaphosa's presidency. Our correspondent Kalden Ongmu has sent us this report from Johannesburg. Take a look.
An extraordinary day for South Africans and its judicial system. The country's highest court, the Constitutional Court, has ruled in favor of an application brought by opposition parties against Parliament's decision to block the impeachment inquiry recommended by a panel which had concluded that South Africa's President, Cyril Ramaphosa, has a case to answer for the concealment of the theft of $580,000 at his farm in Limpopo province. Now, the big question is, will Ramaphosa survive a possible impeachment in the parliament? That must now proceed. This is Golden Omo from Johannesburg, South Africa. For WION, World is One.
The southern U.S. state of Tennessee has a new electoral map. The state's governor just signed into law a map that could give the Republican Party an extra seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. Let's tell you how. The Republican Party won 8 out of 9 districts in Tennessee during the 2024 elections. The sole Democratic district contained the city of Memphis, but now the Republicans have decided to split the city among 3 new districts. This should dilute the city's vote and ensure that all seats in Tennessee go to the Republican Party during the upcoming midterm elections in November. In fact, the Republicans could not have done this earlier because of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. Memphis is home to a lot of African Americans, and the 1965 law prevents redistricting if it has a chance to remove political representation from a sizable minority community. However, the U.S. Supreme Court weakened the Voting Rights Act in a ruling last week. The ruling makes it harder for minority communities in the U.S. to appeal redistricting on racial grounds. Several other southern states in the U.S., like Louisiana, Alabama, and South Carolina, are expected to follow suit. The Republican Party is looking to secure its majority in the House in the upcoming midterm elections, and opinion polls say that they have a tough fight on their hands, considering that President Donald Trump's low approval figures still remain. Redistricting or gerrymandering has already been used by several U.S. states ahead of the midterms. And now, the dilution of the 1965 Voting Rights Act makes it possible for even more states to engage in redistricting ahead of the crucial vote in November. All right, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Race to Power. As always, we will keep getting you updates and political analysis from around the world and here in India. Thanks very much for joining us at the moment. Bye-bye.
In this rapidly changing world, is your health keeping pace? Best practices and breakthroughs busting the hype with real insights. The timeless power of yoga and ancient healing. Good food, good mood. Small steps, big impact. Your health matters. Only on WION World is One. Because nothing matters more.
On Inside South Asia this week, from surprising upsets to sweeping mandates, the latest assembly poll results have redrawn India's electoral map. As the oil supply disruption continues worldwide, the use of EVs surges in Nepal, a rapid shift from oil to electric vehicles. Habitat loss, poaching, and climate change. Bangladesh's tiger conservation efforts in the Sundarbans take a hit. All of this and much more with me, Kripa, on Inside South Asia.
As Mortal Kombat 2 hits the big screen, we look at all the films inspired by video games. Know all about concerts that have made Copacabana Beach a global stage. And get a quick roundup of Met Gala 2026. All this and much more with me, Rhythm Sharma, on WION Club at these times.
The stress of our world can take a toll on our physical and emotional health. Here, in New York's Catskill Mountains, lies a luxurious place of healing called WION Wellness Center. The WION Wellness Center provides 500,000 square feet of natural methods to manage diabetes, hypertension, chronic pain, obesity, depression, anxiety, and other conditions. We use the traditions of centuries-old natural science from India, yoga, Ayurveda, acupuncture, and naturopathy in personalized programs that help you take charge of your own health. A minimum 5-day stay is recommended for best results. Book now at yo1.com.
Giant telescopes scanning the cosmos. Air taxis that could change city travel. AI smart glasses helping visually impaired people. And a futuristic city powered by robots and self-driving cars. From space exploration to the future of mobility to AI-powered living. All this and more coming up on this episode of Tech It Out at these times.
The SDs were good motorcycles, made great because they had no peers. Nostalgia is a dangerous game. Can the Roadster live up to its hallowed name? Check out the new Triber, Renault's new suave people carrier. And come ride with us from SD's home in Mysore to the coffee country in Coorg. Coming up this week on WION Drive at these times.
Hello and welcome. You're watching WION World is One. My name is Mohammed Saleh and these are the headlines. The US military says that its forces fired on and disabled 2 Iranian-flagged tankers that attempted to violate the American blockade of Iran's ports. The Iranian media has reported some new sporadic clashes with US forces in the Strait of Hormuz. Hezbollah says that it has launched missiles at an Israeli military base in northern Israel in retaliation for the Israeli bombings in southern Lebanon and over Beirut. The TVK chief Vijay meets with the governor to stake claim to form a government in Tamil Nadu. This as he secures the support of 121 MLAs from the Congress, the Left, the IUML and the VCK. And Suvendu Adhikari is set to become the Chief Minister of West Bengal. The decision was taken at the BJP legislature meeting, and this comes just days after BJP's